Welcome back, folks. It's Javier. If you've been researching Korea, you've probably heard these two words thrown around, which is EPIK and Hagwon. But what nobody actually tells you is what happens behind the scenes. So I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about the real differences, the ones that you've only heard about from somebody that's been living here for a couple of years. What is EPIK? So people think that when you go to EPIK that you're actually going to be working for EPIK, but that's not the truth. The truth is EPIK's job is really just to find you. They're going to process you. They're going to bring you to Korea, and they're going to hand deliver you to your school. Then after that, they're finished. Now you are an employee of either a city or a provincial office of education. So what you're really signing up for is a public sector job. So that means three things. It means it's going to be very stable, it's going to be very predictable, and it's also going to have a lot of bureaucracy. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. What is the Hagwon? Hagwon can be a very large franchise, or it can be a very small mom and pop school. This is a private business. They only make money if the students are enrolled, if they stay enrolled, and if the parents are happy. As an English teacher at this place, you're going to be part customer service, you're going to be part marketing tool, and you're part going to be an English teacher. Because there's an owner, your experience is going to depend 100% on that person's personality. So if you got an amazing boss, it's going to be the best experience ever. If you got a horrible boss, it's going to be the worst experience ever. With all that said, there is one undeniable fact about teaching at a Hagwon, which is you know exactly where you're going to be before you even leave your home country. You know what city you're going to be in, you know what neighborhood you're going to be in, you know what school you're going to be in. So that is a very, very important detail, that if you're one of those persons, you're like, oh, I have to be in Seoul or I have to be in Busan, you're not going to get that with EPIK, because with EPIK, the process is very long and drawn out. EPIK is going to give your application to a wide range of offices, and then those people, they're going to select you, and then that office has a jurisdiction with many different schools, and they're going to randomly put you in whatever school that they want to. So you really don't know what it is that you're going in for. Public versus private, two completely different worlds, and really the main difference is public sector, they're looking for stability, and private sector, they're looking for profit. Your public sector, they're going to want no drama, they just want you to follow along, and they just want peace and to get through the day. For your private sector, these guys, they're looking for enrollment, they're looking for retention, and they're looking for the revenue. In the private sector, your parents' opinions are going to matter a lot, because those are the people that are actually paying for your salary. Your appearance is going to matter a lot, because they want you to look like the model English teacher. Part of your job is going to be to sell to the customers. So if you just finished the semester and then your boss says, hey, we have a winter course going on, or we got a phonics course going on, or we got an arts and crafts going on, so you're going to be pushed to sell those kind of classes. And your owners are going to just want to take a bunch of pictures with you and the kids, because what they're doing is that they're marketing to the Korean audience that, hey, we're the school that has the foreign teacher. The other thing is that they always need you to be doing something, because you're on their clock. So that owner, he's going to really squeeze you for all you got. He's going to want to see that you're constantly working. Now, all of this can sound pretty negative, but really there's one big advantage to being in a Hagwon, which is that since you're going to be seeing that owner a lot, since you're going to be working with that owner a lot, you're going to build a relationship, and you're going to be able to negotiate with that owner directly. In the public sector, there's nobody that you can negotiate with, because it's all a huge line of bureaucracy. There's nobody that you can really talk to. In the public sector, the teachers are there to get through the day. Parents' opinions is not going to matter as much. The principal or somebody is not going to be looking over your shoulder, making sure that you're constantly working. That also has some negative effects, right? I told you guys this is a very big bureaucratic process. So last year, for example, I wanted to leave work 20 minutes early. I told my co-teacher had to ask the vice principal had to ask the principal thought about it, got back to the vice principal told my co-teacher, and then my co-teacher told me. So I was supposed to leave at 4:20. I wanted to leave at 4, and the word got back to me at 3:45 that I could leave at 4 o'clock. That's really what you're dealing with when you're dealing with this bureaucratic kind of system. All right, let's talk vacation. I think this is really important because as foreign teachers, our families live very far away, so we have to travel a lot. Public school, you're probably going to get around 26 days, and you can only take those vacations when the students are on vacations. You can split your vacation halfway, or you could take your whole vacation during the winter, which is what I usually do. Your private schools, they're going to give you, I've seen on the lower end about 10 days, and then I've seen on the upper end about 16 days. It really depends on your owner. You have to think as the owner is not making money unless you're actually at the school and you're teaching those classes. So that's why it's really reduced down. Your public schools, they have a very standardized pay, so you guys will know beforehand if you're being placed in one of the provinces or one of the cities, and you guys can really look. It really depends on what your experience is with teaching, where you're going to land on that pay scale. Now, your Hagwons, I've seen the salary range is really, really wide. I've seen some people start at 2.1. I've seen other people start above 3.1. It really just depends on the owner. It's really just what is their situation. In private schools, you're going to maybe or maybe not work with other foreign teachers. This can be either a blessing or a curse. I've heard people that love the people that they work with, and I've also heard people that can't stand the people that they work with. So it's just really a pick of the draw of what you're getting at that school. In public schools, you're most likely never going to work with other foreign teachers. It's going to be you and then the Korean staff. This can be really lonely, or it can be really peaceful depending on how you take it. I don't talk with my co-teachers that much because they already know what to expect of me. I give them the lesson plan and they come to class with me. And sometimes we may make some comments about some students or something, but that's really the depth of our relationship. So sometimes, like I said, this can be a little bit lonely, or it could feel great, right? It could feel like you're kind of working by yourself and you're able to take care of everything by yourself. It really depends on what your personality is. If you go the EPIK route, when you get here, you're going to have the EPIK orientation. And the EPIK orientation is supposed to be a few days of training. I really, really, really think that EPIK created this more of a networking event where you can meet other teachers and you guys can create friendships. And then those friendships will kind of carry you through your first year that you are here, because a lot of teachers will get lonely. And so they kind of need that support system. And I think like EPIK's thinking like, okay, we'll give them like a family to be with, and that way they won't just get up and leave halfway through their contract. If you go the Hagwon route, it really depends on who your owner is. You may have weekly trainings, you may have no trainings, you may have monthly trainings. Honestly, when I worked in the private education years and years and years ago, I had weekly trainings, and I'm telling you, I hated these weekly trainings. But now that I look back, I really appreciate them because there's many, many, many small skills that you have to learn to teach. And the only way that you're going to get those skills is, number one, if you're subscribed to my channel, but number two, if you actually have another teacher there that is actually teaching you these skills. So I think having training is actually pretty annoying, but actually very valuable as well. I've worked at 5 public schools, and out of those 5, 4 of those were middle schools, and all those middle schools use the same textbook. So that was really, really, really convenient for me because I was able to take the material that I've already been working on and use it for various multiple schools. If you're going for the Hagwon, they may have some kind of franchise material that they're using, or they could just have some ESL book that they picked off of a library, or they could have nothing. So in that case, you're going to be required to do all the planning from scratch. And again, it really depends on what the owner's situation is and what kind of structure that he already has. You guys know that I love lesson planning, and I've covered that in detail on my first video. If you guys haven't watched it, I'll put it down here on the description. And for all I press about lesson planning, I've never once been asked to give a lesson plan at a public school. I still do give it to my teachers, but at the Hagwons, I think it's something that's more common that they're going to ask you for those lesson plans, because usually they want those lesson plans so that they can show it to the parents, because I'm sure that 99% of the parents, they really don't care, but you got that 1%, you know that 1% parent, he's going to be or she's going to be there asking for that lesson plan. In a sense, I feel that this is a disadvantage and an advantage, because you don't have to prepare lesson plans in the public school system. Because of that, most teachers never realize that a lot of the issues that they come up with in class are actually because of their lesson plan. In the private sector, because you're required to give that lesson plan and you know that somebody else is going to be looking at that lesson plan, it kind of forces you to put a little bit more emphasis on it. Let's say you're going the EPIK route, you're going public school, you're going to have a pretty normal life. It's going to start maybe around 8:30, going to finish around 4:30, going to be Monday through Friday. You're going to live a normal office life. And that means also that you're going to get the normal rush hour life too. Hagwons, you're going to start later because you're going to start after the kids get out of school. And that means that you're also going to end later. And that means that you're also probably going to be working Saturdays. Sometimes you're going to be working Sunday. This is kind of cool because you can sleep in and you can do all your errands, everything that you need to do around the city when there's nobody around. So that's really good benefit of that. So it's really two completely different lifestyles, but it's really about what do you want to do. If you guys are trying to decide between EPIK and Hagwon, remember EPIK gives you a lot of stability, a lot of predictability. Hagwons are going to give you a lot of control by being able to talk to that owner directly. Public school is going to be a little bit more chill. Private school is going to give you a real nice, clear location. So really, there's neither one of them is better. It really depends on what you're looking forward to do in Korea. And if this helped you, drop me a like, leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.